Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. So this case on Shah whistleblower being fired, and the internet is actually ablaze. People are having conversations around it, and there are mixed reactions into this. And I feel like I also need to put my opinions and perspective into this. So let's talk about whistleblowers, guys. Who doesn't know that whistleblowers are the heroes? They're actually the unsung heroes of today, tomorrow, and even in the future. I mean, these people, they risk their livelihoods, their reputation, and even their safety. Not just their safety, even safety for those people who are very close to them, like their husbands, their wives, their kids, their parents, because these people become targets in all this scenario. So they risk all this just to actually voice out the corrupt cases that are existing, the injustices that is happening in our communities. And you know what, instead of us celebrating these heroes, we for their courage, it's not easy. I'll tell you, it's not easy. Understanding that speaking truth to power comes through the cost, but you're ready to bear the cost. Instead of us celebrating their courage, we are busy condemning them, silencing them, stigmatizing them, and sometimes the cost is really high. It can even some of them are even sent into. So the culture of retaliation is actually dangerous, very, very dangerous. So when these truth tellers are actually targeted, then that means corruption thrives. Yeah, and institutions actually weaken, and we are having those situations, those cases where now the citizens will lose trust and faith in institutions. And that's why you hear people saying that if you get an opportunity to steal, just steal. Some people will say, okay, you're talking about integrity just because you've not gotten the opportunity or the platform to actually steal. So they actually want us to normalize corruption, and they make it purposely instilling that kind of fear in citizens, to actually normalize corruption and try to stay away from whistleblowing the negative is in our communities. But oftenly, the price of silence is not actually paid by the whistleblowers, by the way. It's actually paid by the communities themselves. It's you and I who are going to pay for this, because we pay through the lost resources. If there's mismanagement of public resources, it's us who gonna suffer for it. If there's any eroded trust institutions, if there is any denied justice, then it is us who are going to bear the cost. So the cost is not really bearable only by the whistleblowers. It is also bearable by us who choose to remain silent when these things are happening in the community. Think of people like Spencer Sankale, CPS Spencer Sankale. I don't know, is there anyone who doesn't know CPS Spencer Sankale? Think of him. This guy actually is this name is stands out when you're talking about whistleblower, because he actually exposed the so-called Masai Mara heist. That was in 2019, and later in 2021 he was actually fired. So he was unemployed, and he stayed like 2 years unemployed and actually litigating for his rights. Who doesn't know Amenya, if I may ask? Amenya, the JKIA whistleblower. He was, I want to believe that he was forced into hiding because he's not Kenya. I read he's in France. And now we are having the case for the for the Shah whistleblower. I mean, guys, these are deliberate tactics. These are tactics that are used to actually send that chilling message that you dare speak truth to power, you will face it. I mean, they're just simply telling us that if you stand with integrity, the cost is high. And it only leaves it to people who are courageous enough, people who have strong integrity values within them, to actually stand and say, I'm ready for anything. But why should we expose whistleblowers to this kind of risk when we can be able to protect them? These people are not fighting for just themselves, they're fighting for the entire community, right? And it should be upon ourselves, to us as community members, to also stand with these people. We oftenly hear of whistleblower protection policies, right? Yes, I want to agree that Kenya has made a step forward by bringing on board the whistleblower protection bill. But guys, do you know what is happening? The whistleblower protection bill 2023 hasn't been operationalized. You know why? Because it's still under the review of the Attorney General. Yes, and it's a whole process. After the review, it has to go under public participation, go for cabinet approval, go to the parliament to be passed. So it's a whole process. And can it be expedited, or does it mean that this is an issue that it's not of concern to even the members of parliament themselves? I mean, I'm wondering, because whistleblower protection is actually something that we should have enacted. If this bill should have been enacted long way, because protecting whistleblower is not just an individual thing. It's not just protecting these individuals. It's actually protecting and safeguarding the democracy. I will say that again. Protecting whistleblowers is actually not protecting these individuals alone. It's actually safeguarding democracy. If we truly want to achieve SDG 16, building strong, just institutions, then we need to see our whistleblowers as partners. They're not enemies of the state or enemies of communities or enemies of the people. These are partners. Yeah, and the protection is crucial. So if you really want to ensure that we achieve SDG 16, just strong institutions, then we need to ensure that these whistleblowers are actually protected. So guys, what am I actually saying? What I'm saying is that we actually need to protect these whistleblowers. We need to have strong laws and mechanisms that actually protect these whistleblowers from retaliation. And we also need to advocate for opening of civic spaces, safe and inclusive civic spaces where citizens can be able to voice out their issues without fear. Yes, and we also need to shift this mindset and culture of feeling that we need to normalize corruption. No, we need to shift that mindset, and we also need to stop stigmatizing people who are standing for the truth, because they're doing this not just for themselves but for the entire community. It's for you and I. So we need to stop stigmatizing these people. They got that courage that some of us could not be able to stand and voice out. They decided to sacrifice themselves and be ready for anything for the sake of the community. I mean, these people are exercising the spirit of Ubuntu, that I am because you are. Yeah? And the least we can do as citizens is to stand in solidarity with these people, to recognize their courage, to appreciate their courage, and to honor their courage, and understand that if they can be able to speak truth to power, then that means integrity is possible, because their voices carry a lot of weight. They carry a lot of weight on fairness, accountability, transparency, justice, humanity. We also need to ensure agencies like Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission of Kenya remain independent, and they have the abilities and capacities to actually act on incredible disclosures swiftly. There should not be infiltration of political powers in these institutions. Even our legal space need to be safeguarded from infiltration of negative political powers. They need to remain independent.